Awesome. Okay, so welcome to this class, everybody. Today we are going to be planning for business growth in the new year. Now, I was going to create slides on Canva for a presentation, but I thought to myself, why don't I create it in a Google Doc that I can share after the class, right? And then you can come in here using the prompts and using the different parts of the strategy. All you have to do is just follow along and fill in the details for your business and just basically plan along with the document. So that's the reason why I switched over to a Google Doc. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So let me just get into it immediately. The major reason why it's important to plan and strategize for the year is so that you have direction, so that you have clarity, right? Because I know at the beginning of the year, most people actually set goals. But if you just set your goals and you don't have like a blueprint basically to guide you through how you're going to achieve those goals, whether it's for your business or for self-development or whatever kind of goal it is, then you get to the end of the year and realize that you just had the goal there. It was just like something hanging above you, and you may not have taken proper steps to get towards the achievement of that goal. And that's why I decided to host this class and host it early in December so that you have a good runway to actually take these lessons and plan for your business. So before we dive into the different parts of your business that you should keep in mind and plan for, I just wanted to mention 3 important things that you should keep in mind. So it's kind of like mindset prep, right? Things you should have at the back of your mind throughout the year. The first one is that economic downturn or not, people are spending money. And they're not just spending money on needs like food and, basic clothes to cover their nakedness and water and housing. They are spending money on frivolities every single day. So you need to know that there are customers out there for your business. You just need to ensure that you are reaching them. It's not that the customers don't exist. It's not that the customers already have businesses that they're patronizing. The customers that are not being served are out there as well. You just need to place your business in a position where they can find you, and you are doing that outreach and putting your products, your brand in front of them. The second point, or the second thing to keep in mind, is that your industry might be saturated, but there are still endless opportunities for you to take advantage of and to carve a niche for yourself. Because think about it. Let's talk about food, for instance. If you go out in the evening, regardless of where you stay, the city you stay, right? If you go out in the evening, you'll see so many different food vendors, so many different people selling rice and yam, some of them suya and all that. So with the number of, you can walk along the street and see multiple people selling the same thing. Don't you think that if the market was so small that some people weren't making sales, they would have shut down their business? Maybe not even by choice, but due to bankruptcy, right? It's the exact same thing on social media. You might be selling clothes that you think, oh, clothes, everybody's selling clothes, everybody's making clothes. You might be selling food and you think, they have so many restaurants close to them. They have food vendors, some of them can cook. But you need to realize that there are actually opportunities out there for you to take advantage of. Because if we stop to the every market is saturated, then technically speaking, you guys would not be here for this class because there are numerous uncountable social media marketers out there. Yes, they are. So if I was going by this market is saturated, I would have gone to look for another career path, right? But one thing I really realized this year and understood is that sometimes people it's not the product that makes the difference. It's the person behind the product. It is the brand behind the product. So when you're able to keep that thought in mind and not really, yes, pay attention to your competitors, but also keep it in mind that there is room for you in the market, then you'll be able to properly strategize and see those opportunities so you can take advantage of them. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
We can.
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. The third and final point is that it's going to be a lot of work, right? So I don't like sugarcoating things. Running a business is a lot of work. And if you're running it as a hobby, right? Maybe you have a 9 to 5 that's taking care of all your needs and wants. So this is just like a pet project of yours. That's fine, right? You can actually do the bare minimum. Once in a while, you make sales and you know, oh my God, someone loves my art, or oh my God, someone loves this thing that I produce or this thing I'm selling, right? But if you are building a business that you want to stand the test of time, know that it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to invest time, resources, your energy. By resources, it's all of them fall under resources actually. Time, energy, money, if you want to see the kind of growth you want to see in your business. There's just no two way about it. You have to put in the work. Okay. Now, finally, this is like a sub point of number 3. It's not enough to plan, because this strategy we are going to go through now, you can go ahead, watch the replay, go follow step by step and create your strategy. At the end of the day, 2023 comes, the strategy will not just get up and execute itself, right? You still have to take those steps and do the work to bring that strategy to life. So those are just 3 things to keep in mind. And a little note on this first point, because it seems like all around the world is like all economies are heading towards a recession, right? There is a slowing down of the economy, and people are saying, oh, there's no money, there's no money. But Amazon released their report for this past Black Friday, right? Just the 24th here, I think. And they made the most sales, the most revenue on this Black Friday, right? For all the years they've been hosting Black Friday events. So economic downturn or not, people are spending money. You just need to keep that in mind. All right, so let's jump into the key areas of your business that you need to plan for. Is everybody still with me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
We can know.
Awesome. So now your business is like a vehicle, and I don't know if anybody here has a vehicle. I don't, but everyone knows that there's the engine in the car, you have the tires, you have the brakes, you have the gear, you have the windows and the doors. Just the way a motor vehicle has so many parts, your business has so many parts. So you cannot just jump into creating a marketing strategy, which is actually why we're here, without looking at all these parts, because they have to work in tandem together, right, to get you the results that you need. So the first thing you want to look at, your products. What do you have to offer to the market? So what products or services is your business bringing to the table? Now, if in 2022, you're looking back towards the year and you realize that you said you had maybe 5 products on offer, or 5 services on offer, it's time for you to look at your records for them. So what product or what product set got you the most revenue in the past year? Which one got you the least revenue and attention, right? And then you have to make hard decisions. Do you have to remove any product or delist it, stop stocking it and say, okay, this product isn't moving the way I thought it would. Let me channel the resources I used to acquire this product towards producing more of what my market actually wants. So is there a product that customers have also been requesting for? Maybe they've been coming to your DM and asking you, oh, do you make this? Do you make this? And your answer is no, because you don't produce or you don't stock those items. Can you consider bringing that in, introducing that product in 2023, since you already can tell that there is a demand for that product? So you need to do a head-to-toe analysis of your products or services, right? And don't be scared to make the hard decisions. You might love a product personally, but if it's not doing well with your market, you have to take it out. Otherwise, you'll be losing money as you're trying to market and promote that product. Hold on, I think someone's mic is on. Let me just mute those. Okay, perfect. Good evening to everyone that has joined since I started. Right, so we've gone over your products. Next up, you have to look at your customers. Your customers are the lifeblood of your business. It's not even your products or your services. Because for you to produce something, there has to be a market for it. You don't produce something and then say, now that I've produced this thing, let me go and look for people who will buy it. That is a recipe for failure, right? So your customers actually come first. You identify a need or a want that you have, and then you produce or you source for the products or services that would solve that want or that need that your market has. So ask yourself these questions, look back on your records. Who are the different types or categories of people that buy from you, and why do they buy? Now, when we dive into the social media strategy, there is a column there specifically for your target market, and you get to see what I mean by categories of people. So you have to break your customers. Like, you have your general target market, but you also have people within that target market. If you're not able to successfully split your customers and classify them based on their exact specific wants, then you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. So you have to flesh out your target market and segments and build customer profiles for each segment. So if you were in business the past year, go to your DMs. This one is something that you need to do. It might be a lot of work if you got a lot of orders, right? Or a lot of messages, but go back to your DMs. Check for all the people that placed an order from your business, or all the people that reached out to your business with an inquiry. What were they asking for, right? What were they trying to buy and why? Look at their profiles. If it's on Instagram, go to their Instagram profiles, stalk them a little bit. What kind of people are they? What is their age range? What kind of data basically can you get from what you can see? Because the more data you have on your customers, the more you'll be able to really sell to them in a way that resonates with them, right? And just makes them want to buy your product every single time. And that's the goal, right? So that's what you need to do. Dive into your DMs, whether it's on Messenger, on Instagram, on Facebook, and so on, so that you can get that clear idea of your customers and what makes them take that journey from finding about your business to becoming a customer. The third thing you have to pay attention to is your branding. Can everyone still hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Now, your branding is not about your colors and logo, right? That's part of it. That's the end result. That's what people see, right? When you go on Instagram, the colors and the aesthetic and all that, but it's not everything. Branding has to do with perception. So how do you want customers to perceive your business? What do you want them to feel and think when they interact with your business, right? Let me use an example. Perfect. Let's take Samsung and Apple, like Apple Inc., the company. When you talk about Samsung phones and you talk about Apple devices, you find that they have raving fans. Like people that sometimes you wonder, sorry, if there's any iPhone fan here, you can leave this meeting now because I'm an Android user. So, but on a more serious note, you find that these people defend the products wildly. Like, they are stuck to either the Apple brand or the Samsung, and let's even say the Android market in general, right? It's because of the different perceptions that these brands have built, right? So Apple users are always carrying shoulder up. I don't understand why, but there's that perception of Apple phones, iOS devices, Mac PCs, and all that. You associate that with, luxury, the premium vibe, and all. That is the perception that Apple Inc. as a company, they have built around their products, right? And that is why when you see their logo, you recognize it. When you see, okay, do they have specific colors? Yes, they do have the silver and the white, depending. When you see their colors, right? Or if you see an ad, you can immediately start to say, is this Apple? Is this Apple, right? But if I asked you people to tell me, describe my logo to me, you would not know my logo, right? Because I have not been able to successfully push my brand out there to the point where it's recognizable, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is that when you hear branding, don't just think colors and logo, think perception. If Apple suddenly came up with a device, hold on, someone here is unmuted. Okay, maybe the person has left, sorry. If Apple suddenly came out with a device that is like, let's say, Nokia 3310, for instance, and Just give me a second. I've muted this person. That is like Nokia 3310. It looks like that. It is chunky, and you know, everybody's going to be wondering what's going on. But I can assure you that just because it was produced by the Apple company and people love the values that Apple stands for, they're going to pay attention, and some people will actually buy. So the question you want to ask yourself is, how do you want customers to perceive your business? What do you want them to feel and think when they interact with your business? When they talk about your business, what do you want them to say? When they are reaching out to their friend, for instance, needs hair or needs an outfit. Oh God, I just had an experience yesterday. Let's say someone needs an outfit now, needs to make an outfit for a wedding. There's a tailor right next to my house, but I will never recommend her to anybody. Okay, maybe my sworn enemy, yes, because I know that she will delay. I know that she will frustrate you. So that is the perception I have about her business, right? You can give this lady 1 year runway, and somehow you come and pick up your outfit 1 year after you gave it to her, and you pay though, and it's then that she will start cutting your material right in front of you. So that is the perception now that I have of her business, right? So this isn't a class on branding, but you just need to consciously review how you presented yourself in the past year, and if you need to make any changes. For example, if you were selling affordable products before, but you now want to appeal to premium customers this year, you would definitely have to change how you present yourself to the market, right? So you would have to change a lot of things, how you communicate, the words you use, the way you present your feed, and so many different things. So branding is a powerful tool. Ensure you are using it to your advantage. The fourth one is the part that a lot of people don't like, financials and accounting, but it is one of the vital parts actually. So what were your major costs in the previous year? And did you earn enough from your sales and revenue to cover that? Are you walking into 2023 with a profit or a loss? Because that would determine a lot of things, right? Now, if you didn't keep financial records last year, I'm judging you, but just a little bit, you need to do this going forward in 2023. If you don't document, you would not have that data to use to make future decisions. It is so important, right? So what do you need to do now? Do you need to review the prices of your products, right? Do you need to raise them? Have your manufacturing costs increased? Or do you just want a higher profit margin, right? You need to ensure that your numbers are keeping your business profitable. Okay, are we still here? Am I moving too fast?
No, you aren't.
Okay. All right. Next up is marketing. So how are you going to get your products to your target market and get them to buy? Now, marketing goes beyond social media, but we'll be focusing on social media in this class, right? So you have to ensure you're covering all the bases. If you make physical products, are you going to be looking into places where you can stock your products? Like some people create yogurt, they create different types of food and products in general. And then they go about pitching to supermarkets to help them stock their products so that they get visibility from the foot traffic that goes into the supermarkets. So depending on what you offer, you would need to have like a holistic marketing plan. Social media is great. It's a powerful tool, but you should ensure that you are exploring and covering all the bases. Now, other areas to review and plan for, we're just going to, rush over this quickly. Your customer experience. You need a customer experience strategy to turn first-time customers into brand loyalists. Now, except I'm someone who likes pain and suffering, which I do not, there's no way in hell I'm going back to that tailor. Like, no way in hell. Except they said, Sha, take your clothes to this tailor and we'll give you $1 million in hair. Then I will just carry clothes to her. But there is no way that I'm going to give her clothes or refer her, right? So she has failed woefully in her customer experience. I wish I was teaching this class with a megaphone so she would hear me. The next thing is your structure. So do you have the right structure for growth? It's great to say, oh, I want to make millions next year. I want to hit 5 million in revenue next year. But if customers came like a flood to your business and they wanted to order products worth 5 million naira, I see you guys laughing in the chat. Do you have the structure? Do you have the inventory right, to deliver and actually make that 5 million in revenue without being dragged on Twitter. So do you need to review some of your policies? If you don't offer a refund plan in Nigeria, that is actually a crime, if I remember correctly, right? And it might be, I understand that sometimes the no refund, no exchange is to protect your business, but there are ways around it. There are ways to protect yourself and also protect your customers. But I'm not going to talk about that before anybody here decides to beat me up because I can't fight, right? So still on structure, do you need to hire people for key roles? So let's say we go through all this, the social media strategy and everything, and you're like, okay, to get this done perfectly, I need a content creator to be coming into my fashion studio, taking pictures. That is a key role for you so that you can get the content you need to fully implement your content strategy. Do you need to hire a bookkeeper? You say, oh, my books are a mess. And to be honest, I do not like anything that has to do with math, right? So you hire a bookkeeper to come in, ensure your books are properly kept and so on, right? So do you need to hire people for key roles in your business? Do you also need to let go of some employees, right? Maybe because of bad behavior, maybe because you cannot bear that cost. Give me a second. All right. Maybe because you can't bear that cost anymore in your business, right? Or maybe because you've just identified and seen that this role is not really a key role, right? I don't need someone in this role. I overstaffed my business. Sometimes that gets done out of excitement, right? You start earning a lot and then you hire 5 receptionists. Okay, who hires 5 receptionists? But basically you hire more staff than you actually need, right? So now that you know some of the major parts of your business you should be paying attention to, we're going to be moving on to the next step. And one thing I need you to keep in mind is that going forward, we'll be focusing primarily on marketing with social media, right? So the next step, which is also part of the course outline I promised, was reviewing the previous year. Now, to be able to do this, you need to have access to your business records from the past year. If you don't, then you can try and find a way to do it. Maybe use your bank statements for the finances, use your DMs and all that for the customers and so on. I'll be showing you how to keep proper records going forward and sharing a spreadsheet with you that I use. It works like a charm. So the exact data you review will vary depending on your business type, but we're going to run through a few things that will be common across businesses. Please give me like 15 seconds. Let me take a drink of water. Okay, I'm back. The first one is revenue earned. So how much came into your business as revenue? And did you have multiple revenue sources, right? So using my business as an example, my major revenue source is my done-for-you social media marketing services, right? So that brings in a huge chunk of revenue when it comes. So when I have monthly clients, they're bringing in a huge chunk of money. But I also have digital products, right, which bring in smaller, very small compared to my social media marketing services, yeah? But they bring in revenue on a more frequent basis, right? So if you run something like a fashion brand, one revenue source can be sales from your ready-to-wear collection, and another can be sales from bespoke services. Of course, those will carry 2 different types of price points entirely, right? Now, it's important that you don't just record the revenue, but you also need to record the source where you're getting it from. So is it coming from revenue source A, your hands-on services? Is it coming from digital products? Is it coming from your collection or from custom services? If you're a baker, do your foil cakes sell more, right? Your cheaper foil cakes, 1.5, your parfaits, do those bring in more revenue than, you know, baking cakes for birthdays and weddings, etc.? What that does is when you know that this brings in more revenue or this brings in revenue more frequently, you would know how to structure your promotional strategy, right? To ensure that revenue is coming in as frequently and as much as possible. Another thing you want to look at is when you earn the most revenue. So was there a specific month or season where you made a significant portion of sales, and what drove that? So if it was Black Friday for you, then you know that you should plan for your Black Friday promotion in the new year as well. If you maybe do surprises and all that, and you identify that, oh, okay, your peak months are actually February when everybody's in relationships and in love. I'm judging all of you. Or December when everyone is, Christmas vibes. I don't really know about that kind of business. But if you identify patterns like this, it will help you take advantage of opportunities. Because if you know that a good portion of your revenue comes in February when people are feeling very in love, you can channel most of your advertising budget towards December and January. Please forgive me, my neighbors are here and they have a lot of things to say, obviously. So yes, you can now channel your advertising budget towards those months where you know a lot of revenue comes in to raise that revenue and do better than you did last year. The second thing you should be tracking is and reviewing how many people purchased from your business, purchased something from your business, right? So did you sell to 100 people last year? Well, this year. Sorry, 2022 has ended in my brain. So how many people did you sell to, right? And what percentage were new customers? So you have to track your total number of customers that you served during the year. You have to track the new customers that came into your business. Because when you track new customers, it means that whoever is not a new customer is an old customer. So you can say, I served 100 people this year, 50 were new customers, 50 were old customers, right? So I had 50% of my sales, 50% of the customers I served were acquired newly. And then you can start trying to find out, where did these people come from? Was it from your ads? Was it from referrals? And so on. And then what kind of people spent more on each other, right? So where certain categories or segments of your market making bigger purchases, right? So every time this person comes to order, or this kind of people come to order, they spend hundreds of thousands on my business. Then you can start saying, how do I reach out to more of this? How do I access more of this kind of people? To have this information, again, you must have been keeping records, and looking at these numbers will let you know if you're acquiring new customers or you're relying primarily on old customers, which is not a good place to be in. Because if your old customers aren't referring you, it means that you would never have new customers in your business. And your business growth will be dependent on how much your old customers are willing to spend with you, right? So you need to ensure you have a plan to get new customers while also ensuring that your customer retention rates are reasonable. Next up is your top earning product or service. So what brought in the most revenue? We've covered this a little bit when we spoke earlier. So which of your products brought in the most revenue? Which of your services brought in the most revenue? So when you're tracking revenue, tracking your total revenue for the year, and then track revenue by product or by service, depending on what you do. Next up is most frequently sold product or service, right? So what sells the most unit consistently? Like, what are customers always coming to demand for? That lets you know that that product is currently a hot cake. And if it's something that you need to restock a lot, then you can also plan to get that higher inventory so that you can serve your market properly. And then the fifth and final one we'll be looking at is the channel that brought the most customers. So was it Instagram? Was it Facebook? Was it store traffic? Was it your website, right? You need to know this so you can give that platform more attention going forward. For me, Instagram brought the most customers, right? But Facebook, surprisingly, I'm a social media marketer that does not rate Facebook at all. But Facebook actually brought me a reasonable amount of customers without running ads organically. So in 2023, I'm going to be paying attention to Facebook as well. So when you know this, you can give the platforms the level of attention that they deserve to get your business the results that you need to see. Now, these are just a few of them, and your business will have its own unique metrics that you should be paying attention to, depending on the size of your business and the kind of products or services you offer, right? So let's jump into planning for the new year. But before I start, I want to know, is everybody following me? Are you hearing me clearly? Are you learning? Are you taking notes?
Yes, we are following you.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, guys. for being here. It's Friday. Instead of you to be jiving, you are here with me. Thank you. So let's talk about planning for the new year, right? And this for me is one of the fun parts. I love planning for New Year's. New year, new me, fresh start and all that. So what we are going to do is I've created a mock business styled by Ray, and we are going to be using this business now to plan for the year, create a social media strategy, and then you would be able to really grasp the idea of how to properly strategize, okay? So the name of the business, like I said, is Styled by Ray, and it's a plus size fashion brand, and they offer both ready to wear and bespoke clothing services. Now, Styled by Ray has big goals. The financial goals, which is the first segment, right? It's important that you break your goals into different categories so that you can take each segment and pay attention to it. Take each segment and track as well. So they want to earn 5 million naira in 2023. Before I move forward, I just want to say that when you're setting goals, you have to be, can you hear me now? Hello, can anybody hear me now?
Yeah, we stopped hearing you for a second.
Okay, but I'm back now. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So where did you lose me, please?
Right after you were talking about the mock business Styled by Ray, it was just a couple of seconds, but yeah.
Awesome. So Styled by Ray has financial goals. They want to earn 5 million in revenue in 2023. When you're setting goals for your business, you have to be reasonable and you have to come from an objective position. If you earned 200,000 in revenue in the previous year, which is not a bad thing, at least you earned revenue, right? Let's look on the bright side. You cannot jump from 200,000 to 10 million naira. You cannot jump from 200,000 to even 2.5 million naira. If you earned 200,000 in revenue and nothing has changed in terms of you did not get an investor that is saying, I'm going to pump in 5 million naira into your business, then you have to be very reasonable and realistic with your goals, right? So we're assuming that Styled by Ray did about 1 million, 2 million in the previous year. That is when this 5 million in revenue would be a reasonable target, because it has to be reasonable, but also challenging, right? When setting goals, you want to follow the SMART framework. It's a bit cliche, but it works. So specific and 5 million. She's not saying N revenue this year, right? Measurable. It's measurable because she can look at her bank statements, her accounting software, and track to see if she's actually earning 5 million naira as the year goes by. The next one is achievable, right? Or attainable. Styled by Ray will look at her capacity. If she's the only one she's a solopreneur, she's sewing everything, cutting everything, marketing, how exactly is she going to achieve this 5 million? She would have to maybe score some kind of major contract, right? That will bring in a huge lump of revenue. But if she has like 2 employees, she can say, oh, okay, we can take more customers and earn more revenue generally. And then R is for relevant. So your goal has to be relevant to your business growth, like where you want to go, right? So if, for instance, what do I use? Okay, let's use the second goal for relevant. Build a second income stream through digital products and earn 500K from it. So Styled by Ray has this goal where she wants some passive income to be coming into her business. So this second goal of building a second income stream through digital products is relevant to her business at that time. Am I back on? I'm going to fight MTN. Can you hear me again? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, all right. Thank you for letting me know when MTN decides to mess up. Okay, so I was saying that this second goal of having a second income stream through digital products is relevant to her overall business goal of earning passive income, right? So relevant is the fourth one. And the last one is timely. So you have to time your goal. There should be, it should be time bound. So earn 5 million in revenue this year, not just earn 5 million in revenue. When? In 10 years, in 15 years. So it has to be timely. So those are 2 financial goals for Styled by Ray. And then Styled by Ray also has customer acquisition and retention goals. So she wants to serve 1,000 new customers this year and have at least 50% of last year's customers make a repeat purchase from her this year. So she wants a 50% retention rate, and she wants to acquire 1,000 new customers this year. And then product goals. Now, don't worry, we're going to break this down into the strategy, and you'll see why setting these goals in the first place is important to this journey. Product goals. Styled by Ray wants to sell 200 units of the best-selling Kiki units. So there's a unit, an outfit set called Kiki, and she wants to sell 200 units of it this year. She also wants one BB Niger star to wear a Styled by Ray bespoke outfit. And then she wants to create and launch a course for newbie fashion designers to build the second revenue stream that was mentioned amongst the financial goals. And then finally, social media growth goals. The first one is to grow her Instagram following to 5,000, because this Instagram is her main platform. So you need to ask yourself, what is your main platform? What platform do your audience use the most? What platform would you find your target market? That is the platform you should focus the most on growing, while also trying to extend your reach to other platforms if you have the capacity. Don't overextend yourself. Her second goal for social media is to set up the necessary systems and grow the brand's email list to 500. So she has realized the power of email marketing for businesses, and she wants to start growing her email list, set up and grow it. And then finally, she wants to look into Pinterest. Now, see how it's relevant to her brand. Pinterest is where people go for inspiration, whether it's fashion, home decor, DIY, and so on. I personally go on Pinterest almost every day, multiple times a week, just to look at fashion styles that I'll never sew and I'll never wear, but I always save them to a folder, right? So Pinterest is the place she wants to start tapping into. That is the new channel she wants to start looking into to extend her brand reach and potentially tap into foreign markets. Because when people are searching on Pinterest, Pinterest doesn't care if you're Nigerian. If you're in Nigeria, they are going to show you content from people all around the globe, right? So that is a potential channel for her. Now, these are definitely not all the categories you should set goals for, but since this class is focused on social media marketing, I picked out these 4 categories, and then we'll work with these 4. Whew. Now we're getting into creating an effective social media strategy. So all these goals that we've set, we're going to take them and break them down into a social media strategy for Styled by Ray. Can I keep going? Are we together?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Please, if you have any questions at all during the process, just take them down. Once we finish with the main class details, we would have a Q&A session. So yeah, we'll cover all that. Now, social media is just a tool, and social media was actually not created for businesses to market themselves, right? So what you need to do is realize, first of all, the potential of social media for your business, and then you have to pick it up and use it in the right ways to get results. If you take a hammer and you go to the farm, only God knows what you want to do with a hammer in a farm, right? But if you take a hoe, if you take a cutlass, somebody can start saying, oh, okay, this person has direction and knows what the person is doing, right? Taking these tools to the farm. So you can have access to all the social media platforms in this world. If you don't know how to take advantage of them, you would not see the results you need to see for your business. And it is not enough to just post, right? You have to be intentional about almost everything that you share and do on the social media platforms you choose. Otherwise, you'll end up in 2 different scenarios. Scenario 1 is that you're exerting a lot of effort, spending a lot of time doing all these things, and you're getting crickets. You're not getting any results. And then you get frustrated, right? And you start dusting your CV to go and look for a 9 to 5. Or You do the wrong thing on social media and you end up on Instablog Nigeria. Now, both of these scenarios are not scenarios I would want for any of you. So let's go on to how to create an effective social media strategy. Now, when it comes to social media strategies, you have to ensure that you are reasonable with your expectations. That's the first thing. Manage your expectations, right? So yes, you can share a reel that just blows up. You use one trending sound and suddenly 1 million people have seen your reel and people are reaching out to you. Hi, I'm from the Caribbean. Can I get this your outfit? And you're getting followers and sales from all around the world. It's possible. It's very possible, right? I've seen it happen to a colleague of mine who went to school together. She sells jewelry. It's possible, but it's not the norm. It is absolutely not the norm. So you don't want to build your strategy based on the idea of virality, like, oh, what can I do now to go viral, right? It's not sustainable in the long run. What you want to do is to build your strategy around tested and trusted activities that will bring you growth. And I'll break them down step by step as we go on. Growth doesn't only come from virality. Like, yes, when you go viral, you get followers, you get likes, engagements, and all that. But you can grow in other ways without going viral, right? And if you ask some people who have gone viral, it's not all of them that appreciate the results of going viral. Because imagine your reel blows up, you're a business, you sell food, and you're based in Lagos. Your reel goes viral, and then 2,000 people from India and Bangladesh and Pakistan, maybe some from the US, they all follow your account. How are you going to sell your food to them? Right? That kind of virality, it's even a deficit on your business because now you have to go through and remove all those followers. Otherwise, you'll post content and they'll not be able to relate with it, right? And that's where you start seeing your engagement rate dropping, but you were celebrating going viral, right? So what you want to do is aim for controlled growth that you have the capacity to manage. And then you can now scale from there when you have the resources. Now we are really diving into the social media strategy, and I'm doing a little dance here because I love creating and implementing social media strategies. We set business goals for the entire year, but we are only going to create social media strategies for the first half of the year. So that's for January to June, right? Because you don't want to strategize so far ahead. You want to strategize to where you can see. And then as you implement, you say, okay, this isn't working, this isn't working, this is working great. And then you pause and you go back to the drawing board and redo your strategy now that you know what's working. So you do more of what's working and more of what is not working, right? So when we've done the strategy for H1, you can create yours, start implementing, and then you always have these blueprints to use to plan for the second half and so on. Excuse me. Now, I review my strategies. Actually, I'm keeping track of what's going on every month, right? Every week for content, every month for the strategy in general. But mostly I tweak after 3 months because you want to give the strategy time to take off, right? It's not MMM. It's not instant results that we're going for here. So the strategy starts with the first section, which is goals. Now, remember, we are planning for the first half of the year, the first 6 months. So everything we are doing now is based on the goals that were set initially. And we are going to be splitting it into 2, right? Because 5 million in revenue for the year. So that means 2.5 in H1, 2.5 in H2. Now, of course, you can have like a windfall where something goes viral and people buy 5 million of your products in H1. Nobody is going to kill you if that happens, right? But we are just saying, okay, 2.5 in H1, taking half of the chunk of the goal. The second goal is to sell 100 units of the best-selling Kiki units. Remember, it was 200 in total. So half of that is 100. Wow, I know math. The third goal rather is to acquire 500 new customers in H1. Also half of the initial goal. And then, so now all these are your primary goals, right? Revenue, your products, and your customers. Those are the very important ones. Those are the ones that matter to your business the most. And then you have secondary goals. Reach at least 10,000 people every month on Instagram. Now, this would help support some of the primary goals and also help support the goal for social media growth, right? So if you're reaching 10,000 people every month on Instagram, that means the aim is to reach 60,000 people in H1, in the first half of the year. And the secondary goal is to start gathering data on content for the course to be launched in H2. So Styled by Ray, remember, wants to explore passive income streams and set up a digital product, right? So in the first half of the year, between January to June, she plans to gather data on what kind of content should be in the course. And then she plans to launch the course actually in the second half, between July to December. Now, the next thing you're going to do, because that huge goal might be scary for you, so you want to break it down, right? And share it amongst the 6 months. So the goal is, it's not reducing, but it now looks more achievable when you break it down. Now, some months you might achieve more or less, but the goal is to have achieved the goals for the first half in total at the end of June. So the goal is to have achieved 2.5 mil in revenue by the end of June, right? So January, we just split all the goals for the half into the months, the first 6 months. So don't be confused. So January's revenue target is 420,000, which is 2.5 million divided by 6. The Kiki units that have to be sold in January are 1,700 divided by 6. New customers that have to be acquired, 84, 500 divided by 6. And then Instagram reached 10,000, because that was the goal, to reach 10,000 people every month. So you're going to take your goals and break them down month by month. And you're also going to track month by month, because you cannot just wait for 6 months before reviewing to see how you're doing, right? So you're going to do this for February until June as well, except something comes up and you have to make a change. Something changes in your business and your plans have changed, right? And then you can come in and do this again. Now, this is just the part where we break up the goals, this first part. We are going to go into how to achieve them as we move down. There are about 9 steps to this social media strategy. The second one are your metrics and KPIs. So it's not enough to have the goal. You actually have to keep your eyes, right, on your goals to ensure that you're achieving them. So if the goal is to earn 2.5 million in the first half, how you would know if you're achieving it or not is by tracking your revenue generated. So you can do that through your website if you have one, if people shop from your store. You can do that through your bank statements. If it's better if you have a corporate account, it's easier to identify. If you want to sell, if the goal is to sell 100 Kiki units, you can track that through your inventory software, right? So if you use a software like Zoho Books, for instance, I know people use Zoho Books to track inventory. So every time you produce 20 units of a Kiki dress, you put it there. As you sell, you also record it that this product has left inventory. And then you can always go back to check, right, your inventory and see, okay, this many pieces of this item have been sold. You can also use your website. So a site like Seller, for instance, a third-party site, can help you track your sales as well if you host your products there. Now, if you want to get 500 new customers, you can use a CRM software. Later on, at the end of this, I will show you my recommended softwares for all these things you want to track, right? And then if you want to reach 60,000 people on Instagram, this one is super easy to track. You just track your Instagram reach through your insights. That's all, every month. Now, I want to switch over and show you the analytics spreadsheets. This is exactly what I use. I've been using it for over a year and a half now, and it has been amazing. So all you have to do is write down. Can you still see my screen, please?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All you have to do is write down the metric or the KPI you want to track. I will make this available for anyone that's interested, right? So all you have to do is write down what you want to track. So for instance, Instagram reach, this is for purely organic, while this is the total organic plus your efforts from ads, right? So let's say your Instagram reach for, let's say this is January, the first week of January, right? And then it's 2,000 and you add it there. What happens is I've built a little, a few formulas here that would start calculating for you. So in January, you have a target of 10,000 in reach in total, right? So when you record that in week 1, you reach 2,000 people, it will automatically calculate and tell you that your remainder is 8,000 and that the percentage you've achieved is 20,000. So you have this for reach, likes, comments, and if you scroll down, you would see revenue. So for instance, we have Kiki units sold here. So when she sells 5 in a week, she writes it down, 15 the next week, she writes it down, and it just keeps calculating. So all you have to do is come in here, add your targets, add how much you're actually doing or what you're getting every week, and it will calculate for you. January, I have January through June here actually. Can this go down? And then when you come over here, this is interrupting. Let me take it up. You would see 2023 cumulative review. So what happens is it will automatically pull all your data from January, February, March up till June, right? And then tell you your total that you've been getting for the year. So it just helps you have a snapshot of what's going on in your business at every point in time. And as you make progress, you can record it. Because again, it's important that you actually track what's going on in your business. Please tell me you've not lost me again. Oh, yay, I'm glad to hear that. This spreadsheet is a lifesaver, actually. I just make out time every Sunday and I go check all my insights, check my accounts on my software. I use Zoho Books and I'm recording step by step. It goes a long way. The next part of the social media strategy is the target market and segments. And this is where I said I was going to really break it down and explain it to you. Now, this is where you're going to dive into your target market. Now, you're going to split them into segments and see how your products or services fit into their lives. So let's do this for Styled by Ray. Remember I said the brand is a plus size brand. Their target market is primary plus size adult women. Excuse me. Now these women, they crave stylish clothes in their sizes for their various outings, right? Now the target market for Styled by Ray have one major similar pain point. Every time they see a stunning outfit, they reach out to the brand and they're like, I'm a size 16, I'm a size 18, I'm a size 20. Can I get this outfit? And the brand is like, oh, sorry, we only make outfits in size 6 to 12. And so they leave disappointed. If they decide to go thrift shopping, God knows the kind of atrocious outfits that will be presented to them in their sizes. Because generally, if you check, it's just recently that there's been a push for inclusivity, right? So you make all the nice, lovely outfits in size 8 to 12, sorry, 6 to 12, or, you know, around that range. And then as you start getting, you know, to the fatter sizes, you're like, let me just join this material. At least if they see cloth, they see cloth, right? So there's been a push for inclusivity, right? And that's very important. I'm plus size, so I feel these are my pain points, actually. Now, these women love fashion, but they don't get to explore their own personal styles because they just can't find the right outfits in their sizes, right? So they go around looking for a wrap dress, a beautiful wrap dress, you know, cut like this, and they don't find it. So that is what Styled by Ray is here to deliver to them. That is the general target market. Now, while all these people share similar pain points, Styled by Ray has still been able to break them down into 2 categories, and you will see the primary difference here. Category 1 are plus-size career women who are looking for fashionable, work-friendly outfits. Category 2 are plus-size life-of-the-party women who are looking for outfits that they can rock while on their mission to paint their city red with vibes. So they're like the vibe seekers, they go out a lot, right? And they want to slay everywhere they go. So they are not looking for formal outfits like category 1. Now, the reason why it's important to split your target market into categories like this is because if Styled by Ray just gets up and decides, okay, Shebi is fine plus size outfits that they are looking for, let me give it to them. And then she goes to create what they call a shower gown. It's only category 2 she's going to sell for the rest of the year. Because category 1 are like, oh yeah, these are nice, right? And these are in my size, but if I show up like this to the office, what's gonna happen to me, right? So it's not for them at all. And Styled by Ray is going to miss out on serving category 1, who are the plus size career women. So within your target market, right, chances are high that your target market, their pain point is very similar. But you still need to break them down and segment them into categories so that you know what product or what offering fits what segment. You'd also know how to communicate with them. Because if Style by Rachel release a collection for career women, she's going to talk about it being office friendly, right? It's being comfortable. We even have this for when they turn on the AC and they're trying to kill you. So you stay warm while looking fashionable. That's a different language than if she's trying to sell her really sexy gowns to plus size women who are trying to get their next club outfit, right? So until you segment your market, you will be leaving money on the table. Are we still together?
Very much.
All right.
Yes, we are very much.
Yeah, perfect. Now you remember this, it's not just your target market and segments, it's also your offers, right? So keeping the segments above in mind, Styled by Ray offers ready to wear and bespoke outfits to serve these classes of women. Now, their best-selling outfit is the Kiki unit, which she wants to sell a lot of. And it's a 2-in-1 set comprising of a lace-trimmed bodycon dress with adjustable lengths, right? So you can wear it to the office long, and then if you're going out, you just unzip, and it's now club friendly. And a knee-length kimono jacket to go with it. Now, the reason why it's a best-selling outfit is because both segments of the brand's market can afford and love this outfit. They can wear it. It suits their needs, right? So you can wear it to work and then, you know, dress it down for a fun night out. Now, this unit sells for 15,000. I don't know if they are tipping their material and all that. That's why they're able to sell it for 15,000, but this is an example. Don't fight it. So apart from the Kiki unit, Styled by Ray plans to launch 2 collections, right? So the first collection will be a collection of formal outfits for the first target segment, plus size career women, and then another collection of nightlife outfits in July. So you see how they are able to plan now because they know the different segments of people who are in their audience. They're able to plan for them and plan collections that will probably sell out because they are speaking directly to the needs of those segments. Now, the next segment, competitors, right? This is very important. You have to spy on your competitors, not to copy them, but to check for opportunities and threats to your business, right? You have to check what they are doing so that you know if there's an opportunity they are leaving out that you can take advantage of. So the competitor of Styled by Ray we'll be looking at is Fashion. So they are also a plus size brand, obviously by their name, Fashion. Yes, I came up with that. Don't judge me. They have 7,000 plus followers on Instagram. Remember, Instagram is Styled by Ray's primary platform. Their strengths, they run ads consistently. I don't know where they get the money to do this, but they do it consistently. And you always, if you check the ads library, you always see at least one ad running from them. And then they post every single day of the week consistently. Like, are they jobless? They probably have a social media manager or something. Then they have a website, right? So that gives them a more high-class premium vibe. Styled by Ray cannot afford a website, a custom website at the moment. So that is like, that's like a weakness when compared to Fashion. And then they also use relatively popular influencers to push their products. I don't know why Oga Sabinus came to mind, but that's not like that would not work, obviously, for so many reasons. Now we've looked at their strengths. Let's look at some of their weaknesses, because this is what you want to do. You want to look at what they're doing well and then what they're doing poorly. When you see what they're doing well, you can copy and say, oh, okay, that means I need to also be putting my brand out there more. Maybe I don't have money to run ads, right? But what else can I do? Maybe I can leverage on Reels to get more visibility. So while they are paying and getting visibility from ads, I'm posting a lot of Reels, a lot of great content and getting visibility organically, right? So that's what you want to do. Now, their weaknesses, Fashion, they feel big, so they don't use hashtags well, right? And they are losing out on visibility as a result. Because when I want to shop as a person, Instagram is my preferred platform for shopping, right? I don't even go on Google most times, I go on Instagram. So if I'm looking for dresses to buy, I would go and search for something like ready to wear in Port Harcourt because I'm based in Port Harcourt, right? So I like using the hashtags because it shows people that posted recently. And from there, I would know the businesses that are still active. So fashion is losing out on people like me who would use hashtags to search. Now, fashion, they say they're a plus size brand, but their outfits stop at size 18. So that is a weakness. Anybody 18 and above, now you get yourself. The next weakness is that customers always complain of their slow response and delivery times in their comments. So fashion, they are like my neighborhood tailor. They say, okay, is everyone not seeing my screen?
I can see your screen.
Oh, yeah, maybe, okay. So maybe try and refresh or try and see if it's me that is highlighted or if you're on another person's profile on Zoom. So just slide until you see my name as well. Sorry about that. Okay, so where was I? Yes, fashion. They will tell you your outfit will be ready in 5 days. 2 weeks later, you are DMing them and they're reading and they're not responding to you, right? So customers always complain about this. And finally, another weakness is the brand is only on Instagram. In this day and time, horrible. Now, opportunities to differentiate. Styled by Ray can take advantage of these weaknesses by, okay. Styled by Ray can take advantage of the weaknesses we just identified by one, using properly researched hashtags. So you take advantage and you ensure that you're using the kind of hashtags that your different target segments will be searching for. So a career woman will be searching for formal outfits, right? So you know how you would use maybe formal dresses, corporate dresses in Port Harcourt, and so on. Not just hashtags, but in your bio and so on. They can consistently mention the fact that they make all outfits in up to size 26. What? That means if you're a size 18, anything above size 18 to size 26, Styled by Ray will serve you, right? So that is a major selling point. What they are going to do now is to loud it, right? And they can even do like Samsung and an iPhone, where iPhone will release something and Samsung will be dragging them that they've had the flip phone way longer than iPhone and all that. So you can even subtly drag your competitors and say that, you know, fat doesn't end at 18. See bad, right? We serve up to size 26. So that is a huge selling point for them. Another way they can take advantage of the weaknesses is by ensuring a speedy response and delivery time, right? So they can say, okay, we're going to have 24/7 customer support, probably 2 staff because is it one person that's going to be available 24/7? Is it a robot? Or they can even use DM automation, right? To ensure that they are responding to customers faster than fashion is, right? And then they can take orders in staggers. So they only say we are taking just 10 outfits, right? After this, we open up the portal again and another 10 outfits will be available to order. So you ensure that you're not being flooded with orders and then, you know, you're making mistakes, people's orders are taking longer and so on. And finally, they will repurpose their content to other platforms. So when they make reels, they're sharing them on Pinterest, they're sharing them on TikTok. When they take brand shoots of their outfits, they're sharing them on Pinterest and so on. So they're not just sticking to Instagram like fashion. So this is how you look out for opportunities. You use those opportunities to make your brand better while also looking out for weaknesses. And then you take those weaknesses and you're able to capitalize on them, right? To tap into segments of the market or to basically get benefits that your competitors are not getting. Are we still together? Is this going well for you? Are you taking notes? Are you learning?
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect, perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, the next part of your social media strategy for the new year is to do a social media audit, right? So you need to do this at different points during the year, but it's important that you start the year doing a social media audit. So before you move forward with, you know, planning content, planning your visibility strategies and so on, you look at your accounts across the platforms you're on. So for me, I'll be looking at Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok. I'm on so many different platforms. I don't even know why. The first thing that you should look out for is SEO, search engine optimization. So what happens is these social media platforms, they have certain areas or certain things you can do that when you use the right keywords, you're able to reach the kind of people you want to reach, right? So for example, on Instagram, if you put keywords in the name field, if you click on edit profile, you would see name, right? If you use keywords there, the right keywords, when I'm searching, those keywords will pop up and get you visibility. If you use keywords in your captions, right, that would make your content pop up when I search for certain things. If you use the right hashtags and so on, that is all related to SEO. The next is your bio or your about. So is it attractive enough to grab the attention of your target market? If you're a plus size brand, is it stated there that you sell, that you serve plus size women? Is it stated there, your size ranges, right? And your, hey, I'm glad to hear that, Tikemi. Is it your size ranges, the thing that makes you stand out? The fact that you don't stop at 18, like fashion, right? Is it right there in your bio? Is it there that you sell both corporate and, you know, life of the party outfits, right? So that when those two people come, they know what to expect. They know that, okay, I'm going to be served properly here, right? The third thing are your highlights. Take advantage of your highlights to put the most important information here. Now, this is the part where you people drag me, because if you go on my Instagram, you will wonder what's going on with my highlights, but I promise to change in 2023, right? Because I practice what I preach over here. So what are you using your highlights for? When people come over to your profile, you can actually use your highlights to grab their attention. Yeah. So use it to not just advertise your outfit, right? But if you have groups of content that did really well, so let's say Style by Ray is sharing lots of styling tips, styling hacks that have been, you know, getting traction. You can put all of them into a highlight and call it plus size styling tips and so on, right? So also make them pleasing to look at and go through. Because if I come to your profile and your highlights just look scattered, chances are very high I will just leave, or I would go through your content on your feed. I won't even bother going through your highlights. Next up is your content, of course. Are you only posting product pictures, or are you sharing content that helps you attract, engage, and convert your target market to paying customers? Let me quickly touch on this because it's important. The content you share to attract is not the same you share to engage, and it's not the same you share to convert, right? When you want to attract people, it's like fishing. You have to throw out bait, something that is of interest to them, right? You cannot attract new customers most times with content that is selling your products. Yeah. So it's very difficult to do that. So you want to attract them with the kind of content that fits in where they are in their life. And, you know, it adds some form of value to them. Now, value does not have to be life-saving educational tips, right? Value can be entertainment. Value can be a simple styling tip for a brand like Style by Ray, right? So you have to ensure that you have content for different steps of the sales funnel. I'm not even going to go into that because I don't really want to overwhelm you guys too much. Next up, hashtags, still part of SEO. So are you using relevant hashtags? Please, if you've been using explore page, follow for follow, trending, all those kind of hashtags, they don't get you anything actually, right? Fashion. Even if what you do is fashion, just using hashtag fashion, it's not going to reach the right people, right? Clothes, wrap dress. Like if I wanted to search for a wrap dress, I'm not going to search for wrap dress because I'm going to see wrap dresses from so many different parts of the world, right? So you really want to niche down your hashtags to ensure that you are making the most of them. Next up, this one is going to put me in trouble, but are you doing any harmful practices that you need to stop, like cough, buying followers, faking engagement with pods, etc.? Those are actually harmful practices, right? I'm not just saying this to be controversial. Case in point, for things like buying followers and engaging with pods, right? When you want to run ads, there's a specific type of ad that really performs very well. Yeah, NEPA. And those are called retargeting ads. Yeah. So it's when you're showing your ads to people who have already engaged with your business before. But if the people who have already engaged with your business before are the fake followers, the fake likes, and people who are not really interested in your business, but they were just engaging because of like pod rules, right? You would never be able to take advantage of retargeting ads. So please, it's actually for your own good, right? I know there's that urge to, look like you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of engagement, but it's always best when you build that organically. So take an honest look into your account across social media platforms and ensure that you're set up for growth, right? So you can always seek an external opinion into your account. Tell someone who is your target market to just take a look at your account and tell you what they noticed, anything that put them off, and so on. Next up, we're going into content strategy, because content is king and queen and all the princes and princesses. Content is vital for success on social media. If you don't post content, you're not going anywhere. At the same time, content you posted years ago can still get you a lot of reach, engagement, and even sales if you do it right. So a friend of mine, she's a finance consultant. She shared with me that she got a client. This was a couple of weeks ago. And the client came from a live session that she shared in 2020 or early 2021, right? So when you do content right, you get benefits in the long run. Now, the main platforms for Styled by Ray are Instagram and TikTok. And we mentioned the brand looking to explore Pinterest. So the next thing you want to do after choosing your platforms, remember, you have to choose your platforms based on what your target market use, right? So if your target market are professionals, right, go over to LinkedIn. If your target market are, I don't know, like Gen Z, for instance, right, go over to TikTok. If you go and you start looking for Gen Z on Facebook, Oyo is your case, right? So you need to know where your target market is, the platforms they are using, and then go there to find them. Next up, you set your content goals. So they have these 3 goals. 1, share at least 1 video content every week, because, platforms are prioritizing video content, so they want to take advantage of that. Number 2, reach at least 5,000 people every month organically. Now, remember, the goal is 10,000 people every month, but they want 5,000 of that reach to come organically. So if they are sharing video content, which usually gets a lot of reach, and they are putting other strategies in place, then they should be able to achieve that goal of reaching 5,000 people every month organically. The last goal is to repurpose content across platforms. And this is something you should be doing, right? Whether you're a bookkeeper, I know there's a bookkeeper here, notes and sheets. You talk about business finance, organized finance, sign up for this. Regardless of what you do, whether you sell a product or you offer a service, repurpose your content. Nobody's going to beat you. The reel you create for Instagram, share it on TikTok. Share it on Pinterest if it's relevant, if your audience use Pinterest as well, right? For instance, I've been sharing my content on Pinterest, and I've gotten followers. I have a good number of monthly views, and I have a good number of engagement, right? So as long as the platform is relevant to you and you can easily repurpose that content, please do it. You never know, it can get to a lot of visibility. One thing I started doing when Facebook Reels came out, I just went to my Instagram, took most of my Instagram Reels, the ones that really performed well on Instagram, and shared them on Facebook. And one actually went viral, yeah, and it was both good and bad. Good, it got me customers. Bad, it had some people come into my DM, and let's not even go there, right? So please repurpose your content. It's very important, and it's an effective way, or efficient way rather, to make the most of the content you're creating. Next up, you need to define your content pillars. Can everyone still hear me? I want to ensure that I'm still being heard. Can you still hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. All right, thank you so much. Now, your content pillars are the main topics you'll be creating content around, right? So you're going to pick 2, 3, maybe a maximum of 4 topics that you would use to create content, to push your brand, to push your products out there. Now, these topics are not going to be about you, right? They are primarily going to be topics that your target market are very interested in. So for Styled by Ray, they have 3 content pillars. The first one is plus size fashion. And they will be sharing content on how to style different types of clothing items, specifically on plus size bodies. right? So you'd see a lot of content on maybe leather skirts, how to dress up, like a bad bitch and all that. But most of the time, the people sharing these things are slim influencers, right? Slim fashion influencers, right? So they are going to share how to rock that leather mini skirt, right? How to style a leather bomber jacket, specifically on plus size bodies. So they are going to share how to pair accessories, how to wear an outfit in different ways for the office, how to find your own style, and so on. So that is the main content pillar, right, that they're going to be educating on and giving a lot of value on. And this is the main content pillar that will attract people to their brand, right? Chances are high that this content pillar might not get them a lot of buying people, but it will get people interested in their business, interested in their content enough to follow. And then they can go on with other forms of content. So their second content pillar is Styled by Ray. And this is where they promote their products and their business in general, right? So they're going to be sharing their new collection. They're going to be sharing things like employee spotlights if they have employees, their socially responsible activities, like when they do charitable donations, when they are showing that, oh, we practice sustainable fashion and so on, things that will show their values, right, to their audience. So this is what they're going to use to sell their products, collections, and to sell their brand as a brand that people should partner with, right, should give their money. Now, the third pillar and the final pillar is Ray of Light. I coined this. Now, this is where they will share reviews and testimonials of customers in their outfits. What they're trying to do with this is, one, build trust to show that people are buying our outfits and they're loving it. Two, they would use the hashtag. They will tell customers, when you're sharing the outfit you bought that you wore out, please use the hashtag Ray of Light, right? And then when they can add this hashtag to their Instagram bio, so that when new people come to the brand, they click on Ray of Light, and then they see a community of people who have bought different outfits for this brand and posted about it. So their goal with this pillar is to build trust, build community, and also build user-generated content. That is content coming directly from the customer. Then they cannot go to the customers and be like, I beg, can I share this on our feed, right? Just to show that, we have actual customers and all, right? So that is the pillar Ray of Light. So what you're going to do, what you need to do is ensure you have a content plan to attract people, to engage people, get them to interact with your business, get them to interact with your content. You do that by not sharing boring content, right? You do that by asking them questions, making things fun for them to interact. And then you also need to sell. If you don't sell, nobody will buy. It's as simple as that. So get used to the fact that you actually have to sell yourself. If you're selling services, you have to sell your services, you have to sell your products, and so on. Next up, the posting frequency and schedule. Now, you want to ensure that you're not being unrealistic with your planned posting schedule. So, for instance, if you're a mom, you have a 9 to 5, and you have a job and you have a family to take care of, you will definitely not be able to maintain the same posting frequency as someone who is single and a full-time fashion designer. It is impossible, right? So you need to find that balance to ensure that no area of your life suffers so much. And let me just state this clearly, you don't need to post every day. You don't need to post multiple times a day. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people I follow, the businesses that sell products, right, I follow on my personal page that post multiple times a day, they are muted. So they rarely ever get engagement from me. The reason why I follow them is so that when I want to buy, I have these trusted people I can go and check to see if they have anything I like. But they are muted because you are flooding my feed. I came on Instagram to see the fine men I follow. So why am I seeing 5 different angles of one particular share? Excuse you. So you don't have to post multiple times a day. You don't have to post every day of the week, right? If you can find the frequency of 2, 3, up to 5 times a week, that is good and fine. Of course, if you have the capacity to do more, then please go ahead and do so, right? But you don't want to flood the timeline of your followers because they have a life that is very separate from your business. So when you're planning your post frequency, check your insights. If you're using Instagram, you would see the most active days of your followers, right? So you might be surprised. Now, I don't use the time, most active times, because you can actually train your followers to expect your post at a certain time of the day, and train the algorithm as well to know that, okay, this post has been made. We're going to push it out at this point in time when these people are around, right? The systems that run these platforms, they are actually very smart. So don't sweat it too much. If you can experiment with different times, fine. If not, choose the time. Be reasonable with it. If someone has a 9 to 5, you can choose their lunch break, because they're just like, God, I beg, this work, I'm going on lunch break. And then they go, they're eating, they're scrolling their phone, right? So at that point in time, you can share a post for them, or you can share a post a couple of minutes or an hour before that time. So just know your audience, know when they're active, and then you can tweak your post frequency and your posting schedule rather to fit there. So this is the post schedule for Style by Ray. Monday, they're going to inspire career women. Remember, they have 2 segments, career women and, the Yopi women. So they're going to inspire career women with a quote from a successful woman. So they're going to post a quote by Michelle Obama on Monday and, get them going, right? Cheer them up. It's Monday, but you got this. Tuesday, they're going to share a quick fashion hack, something that can be easily implemented, right? So for instance, if you joined earlier, you would have seen me with my head scarf, the way I tied it. I've never tied a head scarf like this before because I'm on low cut. But I watched a quick tutorial by someone, Missy, Voice of Marketing, where she did it. And I was like, oh, wow, I have scarves. Let me try this out. So something that can be easily implemented. And you see now, I'm mentioning it, right? So if my sister comes home and she's like, oh, how did you tie your scarf like this? I will show her and I'll say, oh, it's this person that taught me how to do this, right? So they want quick fashion hacks that their audience can actually easily implement and, have that skill that they will say, oh, okay, I learned this or I got this from this person. So they start feeling more affinity to the brand. On Wednesday, they're going to sell. So they're going to promote the brand's offerings, the clothes, everything that they have at that point in time. Now, you don't want to come and say, we have this collection. We also have the Kiki unit. We also have this second collection. We also offer bespoke. Hello, just calm down and choose a particular product. Or you can choose, okay, this week we are doing the collection, the new collection for career women. We are teasing it. Next week, we are doing the Kiki unit, right? Sharing testimonials and sharing the unit, the benefits of having it, how you can wear it in different ways, and so on. So spread it out, right? On Thursday, they're going to share a fashion style guide for the upcoming weekend, right? So this one is targeted at the Yopi women. I really don't know what to call that segment. Sorry, that's why I keep saying Yopi. But yeah, a fashion style guide for them. So you see how they are appealing to both segments of their market every single week with their content, right? And then on Friday, they're going to increase engagement with a fun game while promoting the brand's offerings low-key. This is what I mean. So on Friday, they can do something like this or that and post 2 outfits from the corporate collection, right? And say, which outfit would you prefer to rock on a Monday, right? So what they are doing is they are telling you these are the outfits in the collection, but they're also getting engagement from their audience because the audience will be saying, oh, A, B, 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 A. That's boosting their engagement, right? And in the caption, they're also saying, oh, tell us what outfits you choose, our new collection with these outfits and more babies, launch so day. So that's what I mean by selling low-key. On Wednesday, you're not selling low-key. You are saying, this is what I have. Give me your money right now. Gone to your head, right? But on Friday, you're more muted. It's more low-key. And then on Saturday, they're going to share a review from a customer to build trust. So reviews, testimonials, the UGC, and so on. Are we still together? We are almost done, I promise. We are almost done. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
I can.
Awesome. The next part is the traffic strategy. So it's not enough to have good content, right? How are you going to get that content to your target market? So the first one is the organic traffic strategy. So how are you going to use organic means to drive your content, drive your brand? So the first part is platform features. Every social media platform has features to get users visibility for free. So you have to use them. Instagram, hashtags, your name field, keywords in your captions, reels, and so on. Another organic traffic strategy, collaboration, right? Excuse me. So collaborations can go a long way to get your brand and products in front of new audiences. Take me, for instance, I can decide to do a collaborative post with someone who is a website designer, who is a brand strategist, and we come together, have a live session. The person's audience is going to be business owners as well, right? I'm going to ensure that my audience is made up primarily of business owners. So what happens is with that collaboration, our audience is mixed. People who didn't know about that person go to follow them from my page. People who didn't know about me from their own audience come to follow me for marketing, right? So for Styled by Ray, they can collaborate with a business that sells shoes for big feet, right? A business that sells fashion accessories, or a woman-centric body positivity community, and so on. So what you have to ensure is that all parties involved are benefiting from the collaboration and that it brings value to your own target market. And then, of course, your paid traffic strategy, whether you're using paid ads or you're using influencer marketing, anything that drives traffic, but you're going to be paying for it, you slot it in here. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, you can run ads on Meta platforms. And what you need to do is set a specific amount, if possible, that you use to run ads monthly, right? So if you're spending 15,000 every month, you know that, okay, every single month I have to get up and I have to set up this ad to push my brand out there, paying 15,000 to these wonderful souls to get my ads in front of the right audience. The great thing with paid ads is that you can really target and ensure that the people who are seeing your ads are your target market, right? And one thing you want to do is don't always promote content that is selling something, right? Try to target your audience and build that audience before you need to sell to them. So if you're selling, if maybe you are an accountant, promote a piece of content that's teaching them something, right? And then they see that content, they get value, they're like, okay, I should follow this person, right? And then as you build your audience that way, you use future content to nurture them, right? And then you sell to them. You find that it's easier for people to convert than if you're just sending out an ad, buy this thing, and I'm like, who are you? I've never heard of you before. Leave my presence, right? So next up is your, see, we are at the end, yay. Next up is your promotional strategy. So Styled by Ray will have one major sales promotion this year. One thing I just want to state is that you don't want to have too many sales promotions, because what's going to happen is, if I know that I'm always saying 10% off, 20% off every few weeks, every few couple of months, when I need to buy something, I'll just tell myself, Priya, if this thing is not urgent, just chill. You know this person, next month, 20% off, and then you get it for a steal, right? So you would find that when you're not doing a promotion, you really get sales. Then when you're doing a promotion that your profit has dropped, people will now be coming and you're like, where have these people been? It's because they are primed to always expect a promotion from you, right? So limit your sales promotions so that when you now say, oh, I'm having this promotion, they're like, hey, whoa, we don't know when next we'll have this. So, and then you drive those bulk sales at that period of time. So Styled by Ray will have one major sales promotion during Black Friday, finish. It will be a 48-hour flash sale, offering 30 to 40% of all pieces in stock. And then one random person, one random customer who buys something during the flash sale will just open their package and find an extra outfit that they didn't order, right? So they can advertise that aspect to get people excited and be like, hey, choose me, because, you know, we like, what do they call it? This kind of jackpot, kalu kalu. So it will really drive people to want to take advantage of it. And then the two collections that they will be launching this year, they will use an early bird strategy to drive sales quickly. So they'll do something like the first 50 women to order from each collection will get this, right? So maybe we'll get a set of scarves, or we'll get something that their audience will find relevant and useful. So it's just for the early bird strategy, only for the two collections they will be launching. And that's just to drive sales and bring in that revenue quickly. So that is their promotional strategy for the year. Now that they've made this social media strategy, the next thing you're going to do is list out their action steps, right? So one, they need to make changes to their Instagram bio because there are some keywords there that are missing. So they're going to add those keywords. Two, they're going to list out video content ideas because, you know, the goal is to post at least one video a week. So they have to plan out these video content ideas, so that they will know what they are doing and they can start shooting and sharing and so on. Then they're going to do a lifestyle shoot of the Kiki set. So women in a model in the Kiki set in different lifestyle positions, going out for a cup of coffee, lounging in the house, although why would you wear that to lounge in the house? But basically people, someone using it in different lifestyle scenarios so that they can be promoting that Kiki set throughout the year. So they need to do a photo shoot. That's an action step. Next, they have to do intensive research on potential partners for collaboration. Because while it's nice to collaborate, you have to do research beforehand so that you don't get yourself in a fix. Next, since they want to explore Pinterest, they have to create and set up a Pinterest account. They'll be watching YouTube videos to find out how to do this effectively. Another action step is they have to create a content calendar for January, right? So after planning out their videos, they're also going to create other content and put it all into a content calendar so that when January comes, they're just sharing this content. They already have a plan. And then finally, they're going to start doing audience research to know if they have followers who are fashion designers and will be interested in a course. Because if they don't have that audience already, it means they have to go out, find that audience, consider maybe splitting it, opening a new page for it, and so on, right? So these are the action steps that would now guide them and say, okay, I've made this strategy. This is what I need to do based on this strategy. And then you go and you start taking this action. So when you create a strategy, you would know how to flesh out what you need to do to achieve the goals that you've set. Oh, this strategy really took a lot of time. I'm sorry to keep you for so long, but I hope we're still together. We are at, in short, we are at the very, 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 very last lap. So let me know if you're still with me, if you're still hearing me, and if you've been learning so far. Hello, are we together? Okay. Awesome. Okay, so the next part is how to not just plan, but to actually execute. And the first thing is to know your capacity. I spoke about this before, right? You need to be honest with yourself. Awesome, thank you so much. You need to be honest with yourself. Do you have the time to do these things that you need to do to get this result? Or do you need to be more realistic with your goals? Right? You need to hire someone to assist you because you just don't have the time to do what needs to be done. Two, put your why somewhere you can see it every day. What I mean by your why is, why do you want to achieve 5 million in revenue? Why do you want to grow your business this much, right? My why is because I want to live the baby girl life and I want to make an impact. There are so many people in the world that are suffering. If I can find a way to elevate that suffering, awesome, right? So I have different plans. I want to see children who are actually talented in sports and athletics and be able to sponsor them for trainings and take them to the Olympics. Let them win gold for Nigeria, right? All that costs money. To get that money, I need to do something. And that something is my business. That is my why. And it's on my headboard, right? So when I wake up, I see it there. I also put it in my journal, part of it in my journal. So when I open my journal to write every morning, I see it there as well. So have your why close to you. 3, time management is key. One thing that helps me a lot is to assign different days for specific tasks. So every Tuesday, I create content. Every Wednesday, I create graphics. Every Thursday is my CEO day where I only work on my business. Friday, I create content again. And Saturday, I create graphics. So either for myself or for my clients, right? And then another thing you want to do is batch create. So if you have to create videos, don't just shoot one and stop. If possible, shoot 4, 5 at a time, right? So that you know that you have these videos. It will keep you ahead of time. You can use software to manage your time and put your distractions away from you as much as possible, right? Ensure you're not just scrolling endlessly on social media. 4, use to-do lists and plan your week and day ahead of time. It works like a charm and it helps me a lot. I use Asana to manage my to-do list. 5, get an accountability partner. So this is someone who wants to, you can actually find one in the group as well, right? Someone who is also intentional about their business and wants to grow, right? It says my internet connection is unstable. Let me wait for it to come back. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So your accountability partner, you'll be working together with the person and saying, okay, this is what we've set out to achieve this year. We'll be keeping each other in check, right? Now, the only problem with an accountability partner is that when one person's motivation is down, if the other person is not in the mood to bring that motivation up again, that's how relationship has ended, right? And everybody loses motivation, right? So that's something that I've spoken to people and I've seen that they've had issues with accountability partners. And then the next solution is to get an accountability coach. The difference between 5 and 6 is that your accountability coach is not waiting for you to motivate them. Their job is just there to ensure you're on track, right? To keep checking on you and saying, how is this going? You said you were going to do this. Why haven't you done it? What's going on with you? Is that something you want to talk about, right? How can we ensure that you are executing? Like a friend of mine who I recently did this for said, she needed me to light fire under her bum bum, right? So that is the role of an accountability coach. And now I'm going to quickly sell to you people in 5 minutes because I've already taken a lot of your time, right? Before we go into how to track and actually, record your analytics and what your business is achieving every single week, every single month, and the tools you can use for that. So there is a program I want to introduce to you guys. It's called Anchored, right? And in this program, I act as your accountability coach. I really don't like that word coach because I feel it has been misused and I feel like I'm nobody's coach, right? So, but I'm there to keep you grounded. So you tell me, Priya, this is my strategy for the year, right? And I'm there to ensure that these action steps, you're doing them. You're posting content when you're supposed to. You're running ads when you're supposed to, right? So the program is for you if you plan a lot, but you find it hard to actually get things done, right? It's also for you if you struggle with being consistent. So you start the year strong. Woo, we are running January 2023. This is the year I changed my life. And then it gets to the middle of February and you're like, YOLO, right? You lose that motivation quickly. It's also for you if procrastination has you in a chokehold. It's a wrestling move, like it's grabbing your neck and it's squeezing. And the only time you find yourself accomplishing something is when the deadline is in 2 hours. So in school, they'll give you an assignment and your lecturer will tell you submit this in 1 month. But you don't do the assignment until the morning you're supposed to submit it. That's when you get that motivation and you're like, okay, procrastination, go away. And then you actually get it done, right? So in this program, because you have me on your neck, instead of procrastination to choke you, okay, I will not choke you, but you get the point, right? I will be on you, right? So I will help you fight procrastination. Number 4, you want to do big things with your business and you know you need help. Because this program is not just about me keeping you focused or checking in on you to ask you if you're executing and to ensure you're doing things, right? If you need help with your social media marketing, you come to me right there in the group, you ask me. So Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm trying to plan a sale. Can you help me check if my ad creative will convert? Can you guide me on the kind of audience to target and so on? You get that access to me. So this works, and it's going to run from January 20th to February 20th. So it's a 1-month program, 1 whole month. It will take place in a WhatsApp group with intentional business owners like you, right? So I'm going to be reviewing your social media strategy, content ads, and so on. You will also get questions, right? Answers to any questions you have about social media marketing and your business, right? And you will also be held accountable to ensure that you are doing those things you need to do to grow your business. So I know you're wondering, plenty talk, how much is this? Anchored is going to cost you 10,750 naira. To put that in perspective, a 30-minute session with me costs that amount. Yes, if you want to talk to me for 30 minutes to talk about the social media marketing and what's going wrong in your business or your ads, it costs exactly that amount for 30 minutes. You get that for 1 month, right? If you're hiring me to be your hands-on social media marketer, my price starts from 64,500 for a month. So this is actually a steal. And what you get in return is a month of support and guidance, access to a community, and most importantly, accountability to actually get things done, right? So we are going to ensure that you take those steps to get closer to accomplishing your goals for the year, right? With people, because it's not just me that will be keeping you consistent. When you say you're going to do this, you're going to launch a Valentine's Day sale, everybody in the group is looking eye on you, right? So that is going to help you ensure you're doing the right things. Now, this is the first version. So if you join this, version, you're going to be a founding member. And what that means is that you get benefits that no other person will ever get. So discounts on every session in the future. If people are paying a specific amount, you're always going to pay less than them because you're a bad bitch like that. If any guy is here, I'm so sorry for that. You're a bad boss as well, right? Now I have only 10 slots for this program this month. So if you want to join in, I will drop the link in the group later on. So let's just round this up. This is the very last section, and it's just how to track, the frequency to track, and the products, the software to use. Now, most of these softwares are free because, pretty they put it when you're trying to save costs for your business. So your sales and revenue, track every day or whenever a sale is made. So I use Zoho Books for this. I love Zoho Books. Oh my God, they should sign me as an influencer. As soon as someone makes a purchase from you, run into Zoho Books and type it, income, sales. You'll see where you can write a description, right? And then you just type it. They have a mobile app, they have the web version, and it's cloud-based. So even if you lose your phone, I'm sorry, they will not steal your phone, you will not lose your phone. But just in case, right, you can log in on another phone and get immediate access to all your records. 2, your product sold. When a sale is made, you record that. And then you also want to record weekly and monthly. So if someone buys the Kiki set today, I'll record it, right? Then every week, my day is Sunday. I go and I say, okay, this week I check. I sold 7 Kiki sets. I write it down. Then the total month will automatically calculate if you're using that spreadsheet, right? Now, I'm not really sure of a perfect inventory management software. I know Zoho Book does that as well, but because I'm not a product-based business, I cannot really give you sound advice in this area. So if anyone knows, I'm sure they will share on the group as well. Now, your customers, new and old. As soon as a sale is made, take down your customer details. Take down the email they used to reach out to you. Take down their handle, right? They will probably give you their phone number for delivery. Take that down as well, right? Because you can use that to contact them in the future. You can use that to retarget them with ads and so on, right? So for your customers, you can use HubSpot CRM software, right? It's free for specific tasks, but you can also use Zoho Books. On Zoho Books, you can create customer profiles, right? So you write their name, their details, email, the business, everything about them, you can create them in Zoho Books. And finally, your content and social media impact. So I track weekly and monthly. So every Sunday I go in and I check how many people did I reach from the last Sunday till Saturday, because you will not see that day's insight, right? So I write how many people did I reach, how many comments did I get, how many saves, how many shares, how is my content performing in general. Then social media impact. Let me just state this. Don't track your followers, like how many people followed me, how many people unfollowed me. No, I used to do that before. That's a road to depression. What you want to track is your growth, right? So on Instagram, you will see it, number of follows, number of unfollows, but you will see it overall. So is that overall you want to track? And what you want to do is just make sure it's increasing every month. So if you notice a decline, know that, okay, maybe your content isn't resonating and you can make changes, right? So my recommended software is to use the platform's insights, check Instagram insights, check Facebook, check Pinterest, or you can use a software like Metricool. It's free for a certain number of accounts. So you can add your Instagram, Facebook, and so on. Wow, I've spoken for 1 hour, 45 minutes. I cannot believe you people are still here. Thank you so much for being here, honestly. Whew. It's Q&A time. So if you have any questions whatsoever, you have the floor. I hope this has been really good for you guys, right? So just let me know how the class has been. Ask any questions you have. Let me stop sharing. Yeah. So I'm here. Can you guys hear me? Oh, thank you to Comfort. Yes, it has been a lot. Please try not to feel too overwhelmed, right? Just take it step by step. That's why I held the class early in the month, so that you have a lot of weeks to really settle down and try to plan for your business. So do you have any questions? I'm glad. I'm so glad. The replay is going to be available, so you can also come back to it when you need to and go through it again as you plan for your business. I'm going to make it downloadable on YouTube as well, so you can watch it offline without interruption. So does anyone have any questions? Let me remove my phone from focus mode so I can check if there are questions on the group.
Hi, Period.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Jennifer speaking. Thank you so much for this class. I really needed it so much.
Hey, I'm
so
so happy
I feel like I have a lot of questions. But right now, I am overwhelmed with all of the information.
I can understand.
Especially for the fact that I'm a service-based business and the mock business we use is a product-based business.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if it's possible for us to ask you questions maybe another time.
Sure
like
thing.
After 2 days or so.
Sure.
Okay.
So the replay will be made available maximum next week, Wednesday, right? I'll upload it on YouTube. So you can ask me questions in the group chat. You can ask me questions in the comment section of YouTube. Just feel free, okay? So that's fine.
All right. Okay, and also for Anchored, I want to ask if there's opportunity for installmental payment, one. Then secondly, is it just going to be for the month, or you're trying it out for the first month and it will continue if
based on the feedback, right? I'm going to know if we can extend it and now do it quarterly. So 3 months of me there, you know, encouraging you and cheering you on, keeping you accountable, right? About the installmental payment, there is no plan for that at the moment. Maybe not for this particular session, right? So maybe future sessions will have that available. But it starts in January 20th. So like there's a long runway for you.
There's still time.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Sikemi, I hope I answered that question. The replay will be made available next week, Wednesday, maximum. I'll try and get it out faster than that, actually. Precious says, thank you for the session. Business is not for the weak, signing off. Bro, it is really not for the weak at all. Like, at all, honestly. So you guys are doing great, even being here and investing this time. Okay, are there any other questions for me, or do you guys want to take a breather and then come and bombard me on the group later on, maybe tomorrow? Hello, is everyone still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to assume there are no other questions for now, right? And I'm going to end this class now. It has been really incredible. The fact that you guys stayed this long is just, it's amazing, right? So I'm going to end this now, work on getting the replay out so those that missed out and those that want to rewatch can also get it, right? And then if you have questions, feel free to ask me on the WhatsApp group or in the comments on YouTube after I post the replay. So thank you guys so much for joining in. It was my pleasure sharing all this with you. Thank you, Miracle. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Comfort. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Esther.